Koji, dude. Koji players are menaces sometimes, I swear. He's the topic of the 46 Legend analysis, if you couldn't tell already, and I don't really know if people feel the same way about him as I do. I don't like playing him a ton, but it isn't the most unenjoyable experience ever, and depending on who you're fighting, it can be a pain. With bow being a great weapon right now, and sword being a bit under bow balance-wise, you better believe it'll be a tough game. Still, it's annoying trying to figure out everyone's opinions on him. He's played in tourneys a lot, but I hardly see him otherwise. Well, besides in higher elos, I suppose. Let's get on with it already. Koji's a pretty old legend, so his SIGs are pretty straightforward. Bow and SIG is a shot straight up. What, you need me to explain it more? Sure. Unlike bow side SIG, it's fairly quick and doesn't change at all whenever you charge it or not. It also goes true with downlight in SIG. Pretty good SIG overall. Bow side SIG is a shot straight forward. What? It's that simple, seriously. This SIG is a bit worse because you take an extra step forward, making it come out a bit slower uncharged. Even though it has slightly higher damage, the fixed force is a bit lower, but variable force is the same. Not much of a difference if you ask me. His worst bow SIG though. Bow down SIG is arguably his best bow SIG. Do I even call it a get off me SIG? I guess it isn't entirely. You hit a board upwards which hits enemies just in front of you, which honestly has a generous hitbox and goes well with bow's kit, with everyone dodging in and whatnot as well. But I can imagine it would be punishable. Still his best one in my opinion. Sword and SIG. Alright, I don't despise Koji, but even when I'm playing him, this SIG is straight up unfair. It hits grounded, goes true with downlight GC in SIG, or downlight chase dodge in SIG, which is basically a 40 damage true combo. This one is pretty much Koji's best SIG overall, I feel like. Sword side SIG is a two-part SIG that, honestly, I use it to trick people sometimes by holding it down for a while after the first hit goes. Most people don't really fall for it, though. It's still a good amount of damage, even for the second hit. Sword down SIG is a really good one in my opinion. Not at sword and SIG levels, but it feels really unpredictable. People seem to not think of it a lot. Coming back onto stage, I like to gravity cancel it, but do it too much and it becomes predictable, as usual. Overall, even though Koji has bow, and let's face it, bow is bow, his sword game is arguably better. SIGs feel better placed and have decent damage, and remember, he has the true combo too on sword. Even though bow has one, it's not always consistent. Looking at his skins, I've never been one to really like them that much. And also, he really needs a new skin. Not a crossover, an actual skin. Regardless, let's look through them. God tier has default, Street Samurai, Greased Lightning, Ronin, and Yakuza Koji. A lot, I know. Default looks really clean, love the style of it. Street Samurai is also pretty rad looking with a unique style. Greased Lightning I don't own personally, but I love the sword for it and just gives school bully vibes. Ronin Koji is a bit of a biased pick thanks to... Moving on. Lastly is Yakuza. Suit and tie skins are usually always God tier or pretty good, but this one personally knocks it out of the park for me. Pretty good has just OG-san Koji. I've honestly never seen anyone use it. It's because of the way it's pronounced, because I could hardly pronounce it myself. Mid-tier has just Emperor Koji. I think it looks nice, but color swaps are really, really bad. I did the chest and got the skin, and now I don't really use it. The bow skin is nice though. Med-tier has just Demon Ogre Koji. I really don't like it that much at all, but it at least gets points for being unique. Then Get Out tier has Get Ready, Shin Sekai Koji, Tengu, Shogun, Michonne, and Storm Shadow. I don't like animated skins. At all. Shin Sekai Koji just reeks of sweat and doesn't look that good. Tengu and Shogun block out the faces. The masks are really ugly in my opinion. Michonne has really bad SIGs. The Walking Dead crossovers just aren't that good in general. And Storm Shadow. Arguably the worst one next to Michonne. Koji gets done dirty with the crossover skins. SIGs are uninspired and bad looking in my opinion. But you know what? Each to their own. I'm not going to blame people for liking the skins that they decide to like. Tier list wise, out of SA, B, C, and D, I want to place Koji in low S tier, or maybe even high A tier. Okay, that's not true, but just low S tier. Some people can argue that he's still one of the most broken legends. I wouldn't blame you for thinking that, but I think he's just a bit under the best. Even though Bow is in a really good spot right now, and even though Sword is also doing pretty good in the meta, and he has great SIGs. Alright, the more I talk about him, the more I'm changing my own mind. Personally, I believe the thing holding him back is his stats. 5 attack, 4 defense, 8 dex, and 5 speed. I mean, sure, Sword benefits off dex with some combos, and even though there's some Bow ones too, they don't always seem consistent. I'm likely wrong, but it doesn't feel like Sword and Bow are dex-heavy weapons. I feel fine playing both on low or mid-dex even. The low defense hurts, the speed is average, and kill power is alright too. If you want to run a stance, honestly, any of them will work. Defense takes out of dex, dex takes out of speed, speed takes out of attack, and attack takes out of defense. It just comes down to preference at that point. And with all of that though, Koji's play rate sits pretty comfortably at 1.8%. Although patches ago was much higher. You could tell a lot of people were playing Koji back then, but right now it's really not that high. So, yeah, you could say he's fallen a bit, but I don't think it's because he's a bad legend. Even though Sword got nerfed, his Sigs didn't. I personally think Scythe and Gauntlets just dominate the current competition heavily. But hey, you can play him, I won't stop you. He's alright in my eyes. Just know if you do main Koji though, I think of you as a menace. Take that whatever way you'd like. Thanks for watching this analysis, and the next one is going to be on the Xbox Legend. By that I mean the Legend Xbox players play the most. That's a bit objective, but I feel like it's a bit obvious if you know what items you get on Xbox for free. Thank you for watching this analysis, and of course, keep on brawling.